Holy cow, you guys are crushing it. How much fun is this? Holy cow. Okay, so here's what we're here this morning is we want to, oh, let me click that. We want to answer your questions. We want to find out what it is. And keep in mind, um, this is let me just say this. There is no such thing as a stupid question, okay? The only question that's stupid are the ones that you don't ask. It has been ever since I got in, like, even in the corporate world, when I was still in the corporate world, I was always the person asking the most questions. I didn't care if people thought I was stupid. I didn't care if the question was stupid. The only way you're ever going to get better is if you just ask the question. So that is what we're here to do today is answer any questions that you have regarding any of the trainings that you've learned this week and maybe dig a little deeper into some of that with you guys to help you better understand. And then we're going to, as soon as we get done with questions, we're then going to immediately go right into the blitz with me, where I am going to just be sharing some things that you can say to people, how you can attract people on social media, by just being exactly who you are. So it's going to be so good. Um, but the question, let's start. Let's get going. Who's got questions? Let's start asking them in the chat section. Okay, great question. Amy says, do you recommend having a separate Facebook group for your people that join? So that I love that question. And the answer is no, I do not. And here's why. Because everything that you do, people will think that they have to do. And so if you've got a bunch of people joining you and creating groups, further taking people away from the fire being legacy makers, where all the action's happening, where everything's being taught, where everything's being posted, they're not going to know about those things. And so, how do I know this? Hi, I'm Tina Joy Carroll. I'm recovering from doing everything wrong in network marketing and causing my business to go the wrong direction for many, many years. And I had to learn all the lessons the hard way. Nice to meet you guys. So that's how I learned, because I thought I had to do all of those things to make myself feel like a distinguished leader. Made me feel important. But you know what it really did? Is it really created confusion for people, because I moved them further and further away from the people who were teaching the strategies and doing the things that were going to help people move their business forward. And so and it was one of the reasons we created Legacy Makers, because we wanted a platform. Legacy Makers isn't Tina's. It's not Sarah's. It's not Aaron's. It's not Nicolette's. It's not Rhonda's. It's not the Drapers. It's yours. It's ours. And it's a place for us to collaborate and to help people get to their first customer, get their first associate, inspire them, motivate them. So I want you to, when you're inviting, use the language that it's yours, because it is yours. It's created for you, right? And it's created for you to share with your people. So just use that language. The only thing that I will tell you this, the only reason I have a Facebook group outside of everything else is I use a Facebook group to funnel people from TikTok into that Facebook group so that I can then send them a friend request to immediately put them in the ATM groups. It is only a place, it literally is a link in my bio so that the people on TikTok, because I struggle to convert from TikTok. If I'm just being completely honest with you, I've not mastered, cracked the code on. I did, however, recruit Andrea from TikTok. She found me on TikTok and then found me on Facebook. But all that being said, I just have that group as a place for people to go into so I can immediately send them a friend request and put them in the other groups. Okay. So that would be the only exception to that. So that I have a place to funnel the people from TikTok, because TikTok can be tricky to get people from TikTok over to the other platforms. Okay. And if you have a specific question for a specific leader, you are not going to hurt anyone's feelings. Say this question is for Sarah or for Aaron or for Nicolette or for Tina. I do know Nicolette is at a softball game for her daughter. So she'll answer when and if she can, or we can, she'll type it out in the chat section. Let's see here. Good morning. Can someone e-transfer if they don't want to give their information? So, Tracy, could you give me a little bit more detail on what you mean by e-transfer if they don't want to give their information? I just want to be clear on what I'm answering. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So, Lynn says, when you see someone has viewed your post, do you contact them? So, Lynn, I'm going to ask for a little bit more information on your question as well. When you say viewed your post, like I can't tell who views my post. I can
Might be
only tell
talking about
who,
stories.
oh, stories.
That's what
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna guess because you can see who viewed your stories.
Stories. Okay. So if that's the question, then I have a great response for that. If your question is, and everybody take notes, everybody get their pen because this is going to be a really great one. Okay. When someone, this is what you should be doing every other day, every third day. I don't care how you do it, just make it a part of your daily method of operation, your DMO. You need to be going through your stories and seeing who views them. If you and you should be posting every day in your stories. You remember this. There's the Telegram channel that I don't even, some of you may or may not know this. I pay $1,000 a month for someone to put 21 pieces of content in that channel for you guys each week so that you have content to put in your stories. So if you're not utilizing that, that's just free resources you're missing out on that are incredibly good resources to put in your story. Number two, put those in your stories, and everybody that views those, you can send them this message. Okay. This is also on the website. This is also in the boards app, but this is the message. Hey, Missy, thank you so much for viewing my story. Were you interested in learning more information or just being a supportive friend? I have never, ever had anyone get upset with me for that message. Everyone responds, whether they say, I'm just being a supportive friend, or no, I would actually like more information. Here is what that message does it takes somebody from just being curious, from looking at your stories, and maybe having to see that series of stories several more times to getting them to be willing to let you ATM them and put them into the ripple effect and make money with referral marketing and get more information. Okay. How do you deal with people who call this a pyramid scheme? So Faye, that's such a great question. I'll be honest, in my 9 years in this industry, I can count on one hand how many times someone said that to me. Okay. And there's two reasons people say that, and both of them are overcomable. Reason number one, people say it is because they had a bad experience themselves in the network marketing industry. Reason number two is they heard somebody else call it that because somebody else had a bad experience in network marketing. So my next response is, well, do you mind sharing with me why you think it would be a pyramid scheme? Because those are illegal and I would never be a part of anything illegal. That's it. And let them put the burden on them to tell you why they feel that way, right? That's it. And then go from there. Now, I will say this. This is this is what I say to people today that say that to me. I'm like, absolutely. And I'm at the top. Do you want me to show you how to do it? And I just put laughy faces. Like, if we're going to joke, then let's joke, right? Have fun with people. Verbal vomiting is my weakness. Oh, gosh. Well, hi, Patricia. That used to be me too. Oh, look there, Lisa Ann too. So here's what I would say. Less is more. Less is more. And just listen, the first person that talks after you send a message asking them if they're ready to purchase or partner with you in business loses. And silence is the hardest thing for people. I even do it with some of you on coaching calls, and you don't even realize it. I tell you what it is that I need you to go do, and I'm silent until you talk. Because if I talk first, I lose. If I get you talking, I help you win. Right? Great question. Shannon says, what do I say to people when they say I'm on disability? I really want to try this, but I'm not sure I can afford it. So um, I'm going to say this as nicely as I can and politically correct as I can. The system itself wants to keep people broke and dependent upon them. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. Now, having said that, they are allowed to make a certain amount of money up to a certain amount without it affecting their ability to get their benefits. But there's also being a business owner inside of network marketing, because you are, in fact, a business owner and you get special tax write-offs. Everything you make isn't what you claim. And so you would need to get with your accountant to figure all of that out. I'm certainly no accountant and you can't give tax advice for sure, but there are ways. There are ways around that. But at the end of the day, you've got to stop battling people about the money, because I can assure you the people on disability are spending money on things they find value in. They get their nails done. They have the latest and greatest iPhones. They have the newest and cutest outfit from the TikTok shop. They don't mind add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart whenever they find value in something. So you then need to say, ask more questions. Why do you want XYZ? Why do you need this money? What will the money do for you? If disability is barely helping you get by, how do we fix this problem? What are you going to do in addition to, so that you aren't living paycheck to 3 days before paycheck? Ask more questions. Asking more questions is going to help you solve more problems for people. Okay, so Tracy was going back to her question about they want to do an e-transfer because they don't want to give their banking information. So Tracy, here's what I tell people. I mean, let me ask this first. How many of you buy things online? Put a 1 in the chat. Like, what? Like everybody? How many of you never buy anything online? Put a 2. I don't even know a world where you could get by with that anymore. So what I would say, Tracy, I just wanted to show you that to say this. This is a website that they're buying their products from. They're not giving the information to you. You actually never see their information. I don't have a single clue any of your banking information in my back office. All I can see is your name and your phone number, right? That is it. That is all the information. And then it shows me what you purchased. It is no different than them buying from you, than buying from Etsy, buying from TikTok Shop, buying from Instacart, DoorDash, whatever it is they're buying online. Okay, there is literally no difference. That, I think Nicolette said it so beautifully last night in her training. If you've not watched that, go back and watch it. She was giving examples of the excuses she gave when the person reached out to her. And she was like, and none of them were actually true. I didn't need to talk to my husband. My husband wouldn't have cared. They're saying that because they're just not ready to make their decision. Help them make the decision, right? Just help them make the decision. Tiffany, do you want to unmute and ask your question about stories?
I do, if it's okay.
Absolutely. No, I much prefer you explain it. Go ahead.
So, I do all the things. I make the reels, I wash them, I'll put them in the stories, and you get that 1 minute when you go that way. But I have noticed recently, if I hit that live record button right in the Facebook stories, that my views have really gone up with recording that way. And I don't know if it is something with the algorithms or just maybe it's a fluke, but I'm only getting that 30 seconds when you push that record button. Is there anything we can do to change that, or are you only going to get that 30 seconds when you record that way?
Yeah.
Talk faster.
I try. I really do.
It really is. There's nothing about that. And this is
Might
what I'll
know.
tell you. I heard Gary Vee say this yesterday, and I was like, bam, right in the face. And so I'm just going to hit y'all with it, okay? Everybody talks, and I'm not saying this specifically to you. This is to every human on here. How many of you, let me ask this, how many of you, put a 3 in the chat, if you feel like the algorithm is against you? Like, just put 3. Oh, when I say this is not going to feel good. Okay. This ain't feel good Saturday. I'm sorry. It didn't feel good when I heard it either. It didn't come from me. Remember, it came from Gary. If you're mad, you go yell at Gary, not Tina. Okay. The algorithm is humans. The algorithm are the people on the internet. The algorithm is simply putting content out that people want to see. If you're not getting a lot of views, keep going. It just means you're getting better at creating the content. Right? There's always going to be times when Instagram and Facebook and TikTok are making changes, shifting changes, and views will go down and views will go up. There's going to be ebbs and flows in your views. It's going to look like this, you guys. I mean, some weeks I've got 6 million people, 15 million people viewing my content, and some weeks I've got 700,000, 100,000. Like, it's not that I'm doing anything wrong. It's just how many humans are looking at the information.
Yep.
Okay?
Can
And
I
then
chime in?
ask yourself this question every time. Could I do better? That's it. Could I do better?
I got one more thing on that.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same thing every single day in your stories, or you're doing the same post type of post every single day, then people are going to get bored with that. So even if you did have views at the first, the views are going to go away because oh, here's just another one of those same type of posts. I would challenge y'all to change it up. Do different things. If something doesn't feel like it's working, change it a little bit. Change, try and, change a background, add some music, put the captions in, just do something slightly different because it may hit a little different with your viewers. And then once your viewers do catch on, then that's when your algorithm starts to pick up. And once you find something that starts to work, do that for a while. Eventually, that'll get boring and you'll need to change it up again. So don't be afraid of changing.
Love. Love, love, love.
The one thing,
Cindy
Can I
says, what if
answer-
they say, real quick, Cindy says, what if they say they're just being a supportive friend? Thank them.
Yes.
Thank them. Say, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Just thank them. People will continue to show up where they feel valued and appreciated. So just thank them. And trust me when I tell you, if they're watching, they're watching. Sarah, what were you going to say?
Well, Aaron had something he was going to say.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to answer the
Look,
next question.
you two are practically related at this point, so I thought it was you. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. This is super quick. So the limit on your stories, that was one of the questions that came up. It also depends. There is a real answer that it depends on your Instagram account. Some Instagrams have a 15-second limit on your story. Some I've seen are 30 seconds. I have a 60-second limit. Now, I haven't done the research to determine why some people are 15, why some are 30, some are 60. But honestly, trying to worry about that is a failing process. Don't worry about, well, why am I only getting 30 and someone else is getting 60? Who cares? Just do 2, right? Do 3, do 4. You can do multiple stories. I will also say that personally, a 60-second story, I believe, is not great anyway, because what's the reality? Most people are not going to watch a 60-second story. I'm just keeping it real. So actually, it's better to do a shorter story. People are watching stories. They don't have a lot of time. What are most people doing when they're watching stories? Or click, click, click. They're just kind of going through them quickly. So it's almost better to do a shorter story anyway. Do a 15-second, 30-second story, and then do another one. And then you can do another one. So just want to throw that out there.
Love that. So Angie asked, the $25 enrollment, can a customer upgrade their account and get the benefit of associate pricing and products and not grow a business? Can they upgrade without purchasing a pack? The answer is no. They cannot upgrade without purchasing a pack. If they want the $25 enrollment, they have to get the starter bundle or the builder bundle. They don't have to grow a business if they don't want to, but what they can do is this, and I'll be teaching this on the Business Blitz next, is your customer can get the starter bundle and pay the $25, and it's only $6 more than they would pay for all 3 of those products, and they get discounted pricing for a year. They're going to get wholesale pricing for a year. Now, in a year, they're going to have to pay their $99 renewal fee, just like each one of you who have an Amazon Prime account, they charge you yearly for your Prime membership. Think of it like a Prime membership, okay? So for $6 more, they're going to get discounted pricing for the year for 12 months. Plus, they are going to have the ability, if they do decide to share a link, they can share a link. The other thing I want to say to this, you will recruit people into your business who say that they're not interested in building a business. Oh, let me tell you about this couple that told us that. Their names are Chris and Heidi Draper, and then they ended up going Black Diamond in 5 months. Never believe what people tell you. Never believe people when they tell you. Still get them on a welcome call. Still follow the system with them, just like you would with everybody else. The leaky holes in your bucket oftentimes lead back to you not following the steps for our getting started system. Getting them on the welcome call is step number one. Making sure they're tagged in that getting started guide inside of the legacy makers. Making sure they're going through each one of those steps with them is so important. Even if they say they don't want to build, still treat them the same. Everybody gets treated the same. Sarah, do you want to take a few of these?
Yeah, well, let me go back to answer because Brandria asked me about one of my trainings. I talked about you can't chase two rabbits, and she said I've done network marketing with another company. I'm still with them. Is it okay to represent two companies, or do you think it's not a good idea? So I want to highlight this because I see this frequently with people who come in and they're already building in a different business, but it's a different type of business. Yeah, you totally can do that. Like, yes, you can. You can't be doing competing products, right? That makes sense. You can't be selling our collagen, somebody else's collagen. But here's what I'll tell you is you will never have wild success. I've literally seen this maybe once in my entire career where somebody had wild success, top of the comp plan in two different companies, but they were very different companies. You will not have wild success at any company if you're trying to do both things. You have to focus on one if you want to actually grow, because distraction is you don't have the time to put 100% here and 100% here. So that's a huge important thing for people to know. Like if you want to just kind of do okay in a couple of places, sure. But if you want to have success and you want to make money and you want to actually grow a business, you can't do both. So it's not illegal if it's different, products and stuff. I'm just telling you, you will not have the success that you want if you're chasing two rabbits. You can't.
No.
Somebody said, Erin kind of answered that on burning my warm market on social media.
I don't believe in that.
No.
Elaborate.
So one of the things I'll say, Julie, too, is that you start with a warm market. Your warm market never leaves. I will tell you right now, like I get people into my business and buying products from me that I've been friends with on Facebook for probably 15 years. Okay, that's still my warm market. They're still my friends and family. Your goal should not be really worried about your warm market. Your warm market affects your business maybe in the very beginning, but beyond that, you have to be growing your network. That should be a part of your daily DMO, which Aaron posted there, which is phenomenal. Follow what he posted there on your DMO. If you're not bringing fresh eyes into your business, seeing your things every single day, you won't move. You won't. You'll stay stuck. You have to be adding new friends, getting new eyes, creating new relationships, sending messages to new people every day.
Here's a great example. How many of you that are on here? I'm pretty certain it's only going to be one person. How many people on here knew me before network marketing? Put a 7 in the chat. If you knew me 10 years ago. Holy cow, what do you mean? I built a whole business from strangers? Yep. Your business will be built from strangers. Okay? I need you to hear that. My sister occasionally orders products for her mom from me. That's it. That's the only person in my family ordering. Now, you could be like, there are exceptions to this rule, and Alicia Limbo is one of them. Alicia Limbo came into this business, and because she had such strong connections in her community, and her family was so strong in the community, like everybody that she knew and was related to and that they're related to is in this business with her. So there are exceptions to that rule, but that is the 1%. Most of you guys are going to have to work through other people's network. So a great example is Sarah. So my friend brought in Lisa Ann in a different company. Lisa Ann became good friends with Sarah Defer. When we came over here, Sarah Defer brought in Lisa Ann through a different connection, right? Like it's always going to be through other people. Like think about Sarah. Sarah's a great example. Sarah met Abby in a Facebook group about moms who want to raise their kids a certain way. And so her and Abby become friends. Abby knew the Drapers through a previous opportunity, right? So Sarah meets a stranger on the internet. Abby knows the people. Like most of the people that are going to come through your organization are going to come through the people that you know. So just know that continuing to put yourself out there is that is why when we talk about how many of you ever heard me say consistency is my superpower? You've heard me say it. The reason I am where I am today is because I just kept showing up on social media through all the phases, the bad ones, when I was still 100 pounds heavier, as I lost the weight, as I grew. They went on the journey with me, and it caused them to know, like, and trust me, and then decide to partner with me or become my customer. Okay. It's just normal it's actually not normal for like a massive amount of your family and friends to join you. Erin, how many people in your family are on your team or in your business? Like willingly, not the ones you put in because you're like, no, you're getting a spot.
0.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah, same.
Okay, some of these are getting
Same with
answered.
us. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
We have 0 family in this business.
So a great question. Someone says, what about giving products to kids? So here's going to be anytime anybody asks you if a product is safe ever, your first response is ask your doctor. Always. You don't make the determination for them if it's safe for so-and-so. Okay. Put them in the ripple effect. Let them look at the testimonies of people's children's using the products. Like my grandson. I mean, y'all have seen it. He loves Activate. So every day when he comes over here, he wants to make Activate with Minnie. And then he really drinks half of my Activate. Right? So is Blue, he's 4. Sure. But I'm not, if you ask me if it's safe for your child, I'm going to say, oh, ask your doctor. Right?
Can I answer something?
You go on in, girl.
I'm scrolling back and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Oh,
I know there's a lot of them.
There's so many good ones. Okay, somebody asked, I love this question. How much time do I need to carve out for this to grow? I already work 10 hours a day at a bank and I want to move away from that. Well, I would love to share my story with you if you haven't already heard it. And this is not a new story. This is something that a lot of us did. I was working 12 to 14-hour shifts. My husband was working 24-hour shifts. We had 2 kids and we didn't do daycare. We both worked full time. So I just want you to imagine how much free time I actually had. 0. I slept 3 to 4 hours a night. This was for years. My job was high stress. My job was very busy. I didn't get lunch breaks. I didn't get potty breaks. I'd go 12, 14 hours without eating or going to the bathroom. If it wasn't in my rig, I didn't get it. So I understand that. And here's what I will tell you. If you want this to work bad enough, you are going to find the margin. Everybody has margin. There's not one human being on this planet that can tell me they don't have the margin to make this work. Now, you're going to have different days with different amounts of margin, right? So there were non-negotiables I just decided because I was so sick of the life I was living that I had to set the margin. And so here's what I would do. I would be inviting, first of all, if you use our tools, this is not going to take hours and hours and hours every day. Even those of us at the top, to really get our DMO done, that's not hours every day by any stretch of the imagination. You use the tools, okay? I'm driving code 3 to calls. People's having an emergency. I'm supposed to be mapping out how we're getting there. Instead, I'm inviting to the overview that night. I set an alarm on my phone. I might be in the house helping somebody out, but when we get in the rig, I'm going to make sure that technically I'm on that live. I'm going to log on my phone, throw it in the front seat, go back, take care of the patient. I was not using any excuses because I was ready for my life to change. I would get home at 3:45 in the morning if I didn't get burned on a call. Oftentimes they could keep me as late as they wanted, which meant I didn't sleep at all. I would get home. I'm following up with the people I invited to the overview the night before. and I'm adding the people that said they were interested to our testimony group. You have to find your margin. You have it. If you have a lunch break, do you go to the bathroom? There's your margin, especially if you're a chick. You're sitting down, right? How bad do you want it? You will find the margin. Maybe just take a day off where you can really think about where that is. But you don't need to spend hours every day to make this work. You absolutely do not, especially here because of the tools that we have. Use a tool. We have a tool for everything. My God, what Erin Parker has provided for this team is light years ahead of literally any team I know. I have friends in a lot of network marketing companies. Nobody has what we have.
None.
Nobody.
That is all collaboration, by the way, with all
No,
of the
I
Diamond
know.
leaders. Couldn't
But
couldn't do it without all of you guys.
I know, but I couldn't do any of that, just so you know. I can't even do a slideshow, Erin, for God's sakes. We appreciate you.
Listen, y'all should have seen me trying to make the things so y'all could pay for the dinner at convention. Oh my God. I had Erin on late at night. Listen, be thankful for network marketing because it truly is something anyone can do. Okay, so what do you respond when someone asks, what products do you promote? Who wants to take this one?
I can. Okay. So, what products do you promote? I would ask questions first. Honestly, I would say, actually have a full line of health and wellness, all natural products that are plant-based. So really there's something for everything. What kind of health issues are you dealing with? What do you feel like you need help with? Put it back on them so that they have to open up to you because they're going to learn to trust you more if you allow them to open up to you instead of just, like we said, giving them info, right? Really can work on connecting with that person because you're going to have an understanding of what they need more so. And then they're going to realize that, oh, this person's not just trying to sell me something. They really want to know about what I'm struggling with.
I love that. And I'll say too, one of the things I just want to tag on to that, Katie, because that's absolutely right. The more questions you ask, the better results you're going to get. But when somebody asks me for like a cut and dry, and I'll have associates say this too, like, what do I say? I say two things. I say, this is a luxury brand of raw plant, high impact health supplements. That's what I tell them. And then I say, what are you looking for help with? You, like Kaity's so right. But we do have stuff that nobody else has. This stuff is very unique. And so I make sure that they understand that. And then I say, you're not going to pay luxury prices for it, which is my favorite part. And then you use a tool. Find out what their problem is, get them in the testimony group.
Here's a really great one. You guys, I'm going to read everything that she said because I feel like a lot of you probably feel this way. If you do, let us know in the chat. So Kristen says, okay, so I guess my biggest question is using three-way Facebook chats. What's the best way to go about it? I edified Nicolette. I told her how amazing she was. I did my due diligence and messaging back and forth with this person. I sent her a short and long presentation videos. We weighed the pros and cons, and I even discussed the customer option first. And she was still asking questions in regard to the business. So I looped Nicolette in. However, when I did, she never once asked the questions about the business. Just going off the training, I shut up, but it's killing me. And I know it was a work day, but I also feel like there should be urgency so that the chat isn't left open all the time and they know that this is not forever to respect their time. I hope this makes sense, or maybe it's normal and I'm just feeling this because I'm new. It's normal. It's normal. Here's what I would do. You create the urgency. You've got to create the urgency about how valuable Nicolette's time is. And hey, get back in there. This is something that you can say. So let's pretend that I put Erin in a chat with Sarah, and Sarah's the one I've edified, and Erin is the one that is interested in the business. I'm saying, Erin, hey, listen, Sarah's time is so valuable. So if you don't mind, go ahead and type your questions below that you had for Sarah about the business so that she can answer them. That's it. And then you just you've got to let go of what happens next, right? Maybe they just decided they don't want to ask any questions. Maybe they're just busy. Maybe their kid got sick. Maybe you just don't know what the million things it could be. Your only job is to take the steps. Not everybody will respond to the steps. How many of you that are on here that have been doing this for a while have been ignored? Let me know. I still get ignored. Do you get ignored, Drapers? Do you get ignored, Aaron? Do you get ignored, Lori, Lisa Ann? I'm just calling out people's names I see on my front screen. Tiffany, do you get ignored? Listen, we're all getting ignored. It does not hurt my feelings if people ignore me anymore. Okay? You're doing it right, and I'm really proud of you, Kristen, for even starting the three-way and using the process.
Thank you.
So,
I just wanted to say, like, I guess because Aaron, like, it stuck out because what Aaron said about how make sure like they're qualified first. So like I felt like she was very interested. She is in like she's done Mary Kay before. We've already talked about this, about how she can afford to keep stock on hand, how it's not like that. I can tell she really wants to do it. I added her to both of the ripple effects, and she was asking questions in the ripple effect, and she tagged me in some more questions about the business. That's why I was like, I have talked to her and literally voice noted her. I have messaged her. I have texted her, like all the things. So that's the only thing I need to do was to look Nicolette in, thinking that she would be able to somehow word it to where it made more sense. But then she didn't do it. So I was just like, I guess that's just me, but I felt like then it wasn't, maybe I didn't edify, like I didn't qualify her enough or something. Because like when I do that, I want it to be like you said, I want to respect Nicolette or yours or whoever's time that I'm looping in. And I did send her a separate message and told her, I was like, look, she just got, like, whenever I found out she was going to be speaking at the convention, and I was like, oh my God, like you're getting the best of the best. Now's the time to ask the questions in that group. She's, this isn't a group for forever. And she just didn't do it. Like, I don't know, but.
so do
I've
this,
got
Kristen.
a
Shoot me a message with some screenshots of your conversations with her, and let's start there. Let's see if sometimes it's the simplest thing that makes the biggest difference in the conversation. So let me just work with you, Kristen. Send me some messages that you've sent her, kind of like the last ones, and I'll work with you to figure out if we can't figure out how. Because sometimes too, it's better. I'm telling you, I love doing this. If I've got somebody real interested and they're asking me a lot of questions, hey, why don't we pop on a Zoom? It's something different about being face to face or just a phone call. If you don't want to do Zoom, you don't have a Zoom, you don't want to use a Zoom account, you can, oh, look, my stories are still playing.
Mhm.
You can do, you could do a FaceTime, like the old fashioned getting face to face with people. It creates a better bond. They can ask more questions. It's a little bit more intimate. Never be afraid to try that. Never, ever, ever
Yeah,
be afraid to try that.
I did that with one of mine, with Nicolette, because she was asking a lot of questions. I could tell she was super interested. She was just hesitant. Like I had done the same thing with her, but I was just trying to utilize this three-way chat, thinking that that would be like an option. And then, Nicolette's really, really good about like conversating and doing voice notes. So I figured that would be a step. And then, so yeah, like you're saying, I guess I just need to get her on a Zoom so she can see face to face, and we can kind of like talk it out without having the time gap and stuff.
I've also
Yeah, but
got
don't
an
let the time gap bother you. I'm not saying not get her on a Zoom, right? And see if you can't get Nicolette and her on a call together. But don't, like, people have lives and they're not us. They're not in Messenger all day, every day waiting for somebody to say yes. They're not in Messenger
Okay.
hardly at all, right? And so just remember that the normal human on the planet isn't a messenger waiting for somebody to respond to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a
Okay,
quick,
thank you.
I have a quick addition to that, if you guys don't mind.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of times people's personalities, you put them into that three-way chat, and all of a sudden, even though you've edified this person as an expert or a person that's just, that they're going to have the answers for you, they get nervous and maybe they are afraid to type their message. Maybe that's maybe that's their personality. I don't know this person. I will say that it is okay if you've had that conversation with them and know what their question is. It's okay to then go into that chat that you've now added with the person that you want to get that information from, like Nicolette, and say, hey, Nicolette, I'm introducing you to Susie. And Susie had a question about blah, blah, blah. So you're asking the question for Susie, right? To Nicolette, but that way, because that way, if you're not putting that burden, I guess, on the person who doesn't know Nicolette, even though you edified her, you're just kind of saying, "Hey, I'm recapping what this question was to the person," and then that way you can still get the answer from Nicolette to this person, and then that might help open up the conversation there too.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly like my point. Like I wasn't sure if like once I introduced and I edified and like if I was supposed to kind of like start it and then back out or so that's good to know. So next time I will do that.
Yeah, and you can both, it can go both ways. Like I had one yesterday where somebody started a three-way chat with me, edified me properly, and I asked the gentleman what questions he had, and he asked his questions. Now, if you can see that they're not asking the questions, do exactly what Chris said. Go back in there and say, hey, these were, Nicolette, these are Tina's questions. Can you just help her with these questions that she has and just ask the questions in there and see if that will kind of bring her out of her shell? Also, too, this is so important, you guys. Let's say I'm putting Angela and Lisa Ann in a three-way chat, but I'm not friends with Angela on Facebook, or Lisa Ann's not friends with Angela on Facebook. That means that three-way chat could go to their filtered folder and they don't see it. And so you've got to make sure that they're aware. How many of you didn't know you had a filtered folder and a spam folder in Facebook Messenger? Put a 10 in the chat. If you had no clue that existed. Let me show you guys. About to blow your mind. So if you go to your messenger, okay, you have these three little lines at the top, and you click that, and where it says message request, you click on that, and there's two folders. One is people you may know, and one is spam. I cannot tell you how. Look, here's one right here. Here's one right here. I did not see from Friday that someone put me in a three-way chat, and I didn't even see it because they didn't tell me they put me in the chat. It happens all the time. You've got to make sure to go look at your spam. And if you've got people who aren't friends with you that are, because you need to have your whole public, your profile, your stories, everything set to public. Okay. If you're weirded out about your kids being on the internet, then just don't put your kids on the internet. But if you're not set to public, you are never going to attract strangers on the internet to build a big business. Okay. Now, why am I saying all that? Because I will get people all the time in my spam folder who are responding to my stories. They're saying cart, they're saying more information, they're asking about the business. But because we're not friends yet, but everything is public, I'm not seeing their responses in my main folder on Facebook. The same is true in your Instagram. Make sure you're looking at your filtered folders and letting the people you're putting in three-way chats know that, hey, this could end up in your filtered folder if y'all aren't connected on social media. Okay. All right, we've got 15 minutes left. Let me get through some of these. I want to make sure we're answering some of these questions that haven't already been answered. Aaron, you're knocking it out. Sarah answered that one.
Lisa had a good question. Maybe Tina, you'd probably be the best one to answer this. What do you do when someone starts asking you about prices? Like you're in a conversation with a prospect and they're like, "Well, can you tell me how much it is, or how much are the products?" What would you say the best way to handle that is?
Okay, are we talking about a business prospect or a customer?
It just says, what's the best response to someone who's asking about prices?
A customer.
Okay, just tell them how much the system is. That's all. And then just be like, when you say it, just say it with excitement. I can get you the daily health system. By the way, I don't ever sell a daily health. I would not recommend ever selling a daily health system without Enrich. I think it should all be one and inclusive, ever, forever, and always and forever. Okay. Because if you don't fix people's gut health in the process, you're going to have more people struggle. Okay. Now, I just tell them, well, the three bet, depending on what you're talking to them about, this could vary based on what you're talking to them about. But hey, listen, I can get you the system, and you're not gonna believe this. It's only da 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 da, right? And if they're like, oh God, that's tight, then here's what I would do. Okay, if we know that the daily health system plus Enrich pre-tax and pre shipping cost is $225 divided by 31. That's $7.25 a day. I guarantee you, I know I go to Starbucks, I spent more than that, right? Sometimes breaking it down for the price per day changes the psychology of how they receive it. Too, if they're like, "Oh, that's a lot," say, "Girl, you're spending $7.25 a day at Starbucks or the gas station. Come on now. Let's get you started. You know you want to get started. Let's help you make XYZ happen." This is why the questions are important. If Aaron tells me, now we know this is not true about Aaron, but we're going to pretend for a moment it's true about Aaron. Aaron's like, "Tina, I've got to lose some weight. Like I've got to lose some weight." I'd be like, "Listen, you said you wanted to lose the weight. This is the system that's going to help you do that. Is it worth $7.25 a day to you, Aaron?" It just tell them the price. The only person that has a problem with the price is you. And I'm not speaking to any one person. I'm speaking to all of you who are spending from other people's wallets. How many of you that are on here have ever bought something that you technically couldn't have afforded? Put 11 in the chat. Oh, dear God. Would you look at that? So what y'all are saying is you technically spend money on things that don't make sense to your checkbook at the time. Is that what you're telling me? So why do you think other people won't do the same thing if you provide enough value and make it worth their spending? They will. They will. Every time they will. Don't. That's why, guys, you can't not tell them about everything. You can't say, "Oh God, if I could just get them to spend $159 on the daily health system. Ooh, if I had the Enrich, it's going to be over 200. And if it's over 200, they probably won't buy it." You're right. Let me tell you how come I know you're right. Because your thoughts and your words are powerful.
Tina, you should mention that story about the girl who joined the Platinum Pack and bought that much.
Heather.
Let me share that story because I think that's powerful.
Yep. So Heather and I have known each other since we were this big. We just went to school. We were acquaintances. We knew of each other. We weren't like best friends or anything like that. All I knew about her was our whole lives, she lived in a trailer park with and I'm not talking about these fancy barn dominium trailers like you people can buy now. Like I ain't talking about them kind that cost as much as your regular house. I'm talking about the trailer park, okay? And look, to be very clear, my mama lived in a trailer park. I am not making fun of anybody living anywhere, okay? At one point I was homeless. So let's be clear on that before somebody gets their feelings hurt today. Now, if I would have looked at Heather's situation, knowing what that trailer looked like, where she lived, and all of that, in my brain, I would have said she can't afford the Elite bundle. That's $1,000. That's probably more than her trailer is worth. Like, seriously, this thing had holes in the floor. But she bought the Platinum Pack. It was called Platinum at the time, Elite bundle. She spent $1,000 and she bought the Elite bundle. Come to find out, Heather made good money. She stayed in the trailer because she didn't want to leave her mom alone. And her mom, it was the only home she'd ever known. And her mom didn't want to leave her home. And had I just decided for Heather to only tell her about the starter bundle, because I didn't think based on what I knew about where she lived or what she drove or how she dressed or any of that stuff, she wouldn't have gotten what she actually wanted. How many of you are on here bought a starter bundle or a silver bundle or bronze bundle whenever you came in? The same bundles all been called different names, right? Because you're always spicing things up in network marketing. How many of you didn't join with a platinum or an elite bundle because simply no one told you about it? How many of you, like Nicolette said it, Nicolette said, I came in with the starter bundle and then I ended up buying every single thing in the elite bundle. Tell them about the biggest thing you got. Listen, I know some of you are like, "Hey, I didn't really be in sales." I do. I want to be in sales. Let me tell you why I want to be in sales, because I can control my future. And here's the truth of the matter. You're all in sales anyways. Most of you are just selling yourselves on the fact that you can't do it. And if you just shifted your mindset and started implementing what we were teaching you, pouring good stuff into your mindset, everything would change for you. Everything would absolutely change for you. Start at the top. If I go to let's say Lori's on here. Lori, listen, let me tell you about this. Is exactly what I say to people. Lori, I've got 3 different options for you. Okay. I've got our starter bundle. That's going to be the very basic daily health system and enrich. Then we've got our builder bundle. That's going to be a step up. That's for somebody that's going to take this a little bit more seriously. And then I've got our elite bundle. Our elite bundle is the creme de la creme. It is literally all of our hottest selling products. Plus, girl, get this. You're going to get free enrollment. That's a $99 savings. You're going to get a ticket to our next event. That's a $200 savings. This is the all-in bundle. This is the one where you're like, I am serious. I am ready to do this business with you. You let me know which one best suits your need. I'm going to send you a graphic. Just tell me which one best suits your needs. Do you see what I did there? I barely touched on the starter, a little bit more on the builder, and I gave all of my energy to that elite bundle. That's the one if you're ready to go all in and build a business with me. It's that simple. And let me give you another hack. You ready for another hack? You can send a voice clip. Follow me here. You can send a voice clip to yourself in Messenger with that information. And then when somebody asks you, hey, Tina, can you give me the joining options? I can forward that voice clip to that person, and I don't even have to say it every time. I just forward the same voice clip over and over and over and over and over and over again. How simple is that? Right? Now they have the information that they need. Now, when they come back to me and they're like, well, right now, really, my budget is the starter bundle. Okay, cool. Here's the link to the starter bundle. Let's get you started. Here is what will happen, though. And Erin's team is so much proof of this. 80% of the people buy the elite. Do you know how much more volume that is for your organization simply because you presented it? You 5x'd your volume because you just gave the options. 5x'd it. How crazy is that? Hang on. Let's get a couple more questions from you guys. I know I've missed, here's the thing. I know I've missed a ton because there's been 6,000 things on here, and then I keep making y'all comment, which keeps pushing your questions up. So I'm so sorry if I miss any of them. Stay on for the Blitz. And as we're giving, I'm teaching on the Blitz, I'll also answer more questions on that for you guys as well.
Hey, Tina, I'm just going to throw this out there.
Oh.
But I think that, sorry, Sarah. I mean, Sarah and I are we're just going at it. I love it. I know that, let me ask everybody, would you like Tina to record that audio, generic, and then you could forward it to your prospect? Who wants that? Put a yes in the chat. Oh, snap. So obviously it's valuable for you to also record one yourself. But Tina, would you do that for everybody?
Sure.
Yeah, just post it in any of our, group chats on Messenger. Most of you guys are in there. If not, just message someone in your upline and we'll get it to you. But everything that Tina just said in an audio that you can forward to your prospect after they've watched a presentation, man, slam dunk. Elite bundles all day long.
Let me see if I can share this with you, if it'll let me. I don't.
The other thing you can do is when she sends it, is listen, pause it, write it out, and then you can create your own exactly like hers.
I can transcribe it. I'll voice clip it into Chat GPT and transcribe it and put that transcript in the group for you, so that you have it. So then you could have it in front of you and you could just read it and say exactly what you're reading in a voice clip to yourself. I was trying to share my screen on, I don't know what that does.
By the way, I know there's a lot of people on Zoom right now, or maybe the replay. The Facebook Messenger chats that I mentioned, they're limited, so there's no way for everyone to be in there. So what you want to do, if you're not in one of those chats, Just message your sponsor, one of your upline leaders, your upline diamond, say, hey, get me the Tina audio. And they'll just they'll find it, message one of us, and we can forward it, and they can forward it to you. So just, it'll get around.
Yeah, let me just show you this real quick because I can't get it to for whatever. And look, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. It's Tina Joy Carroll's problem. I don't know how to share my phone on here, but I know there's a way. So I'm in Messenger, okay? I'm in Messenger. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna type my own name, right? Tina Joy Carroll. Look at there. She pops up. There's Tina. Now, this is the hack of all hacks. Do you know how many messages I have sent to myself of the things that I'm sending all the time to prospects? Now, let me show you what makes this so powerful. So let's say the last one I have in here is the business presentation with Aaron and Kathy Parker, that short video that they created. So if somebody says, yes, I'm ready to see the video, you see that little arrow right there? Oh, don't be clicking on that. You see the little arrow right there? I can click on that arrow and then I can search the person's name. So Katie, you're getting this message. There's Katie. She's going to pop up and all I got to do is click send right next to her name. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the voice clip. Let me voice clip that to myself really quickly because the other one's pushed up. Hey, I'm so excited that you want to know about the getting started options. So here they are. First, we have our starter bundle. That's going to be our DHS system and our enrich. Then we have our builder bundle. That's going to give you a few more of our products. But the one that I get the most excited about is our elite bundle. And here's why. It's going to come with all of our top selling products. And you're going to get free enrollment. That's a $99 savings. Plus, you're going to get a free ticket to our next event, which is going to save you $200. It is the all-in pack. Let me know which one works best for you. I'm going to send you a graphic of these three, and I'll send you a direct link to that package. Okay, there you go. Now, watch the magic happen. Heidi just asked me for information on the bundles. Okay, Heidi, I'm so excited to recruit you. It's going to be awesome. All I did, watch, is I hold it, click forward, type in Heidi's name, send. Now, Heidi has the getting started. Look, and it doesn't even show that it's forwarded. Why does it not show it's forwarded? Now, this is the trick. If you send mine to your people, it will show forwarded. Just let them know, hey, this is my friend Tina explaining the bundles, okay? Keeps freaking doing that, doing the themes. Okay. If it's from yourself, it will not show forwarded. It looks like I recorded that specifically to Heidi. The only time it will show forwarded is if you take my message and then forward it to somebody. I don't care if you do. Okay. Just make sure you clarify, hey, this is my friend Tina explaining the bundles, right? I do highly recommend you record your own. I don't care if you use mine. I don't. You can use mine all you want to, but I'm telling you, it is more powerful coming from you. And you just heard me do it. Use your excited voice. If you're like, I'm not that excited, get excited, Eeyore. Get excited. Would you be excited if I told you in 9 years you could become a millionaire if you just got a little bit excited in your message? Would you be excited about that? Yes or yes? Let me know. Yes or yes? Come on, work with me here. I need to see some answers. Okay, then get excited. And listen, it's just you and you in the room. I'm not coming to your room to listen to you record this. Record it 26 times until you get it the way you want it to be. Right? I will transcribe that in ChatGPT. I will post it in our group so that you can record your own. But I'm telling you, the simplest thing you could do is exactly what I just did. And literally, that is 35 seconds. And I just gave them the joining options. 35 seconds. And then I will immediately pop in the graphic that shows the 3 bundles. Which one do you want? And then I'm going to go to my back office and I'm going to click the one they tell me, and I'm going to send them the link directly to that bundle so that I make their process joining so simple, they cannot say no to me. Right? And if they don't buy right away, if they don't pick one right away, if they don't answer me right away, all those things are going to happen. I'm just going to keep following up. Ready? Here's what I'll do. Hey, girlfriend, I know you said you're interested. Make sure you listen to that voice clip above so we can get you started today, sister. A few days goes by. Heidi still ignore me. Girlfriend, you are making me feel like a stalker. Come on. You're live over there? Eaten by a bear? What's happening? Let me know which one you want so we can get you started. Boom. You guys are taking yourselves way too seriously.
I like that
Yes.
GIF.
Yes.
The GIF where they're like that skinny black guy on roller skates who's like, "Hey girl." I like to throw that at them when they haven't
Yeah, I'll
responded in a
show 'em.
while.
This one.
That's my favorite one. Yeah, that one. I send it all the time.
Yeah.
I probably send it to some of you people.
Just have fun with people. Okay? Guess what time it is? It's business blitz time. Are you guys excited? I've really, well, a lot of what I was going to tell you guys, I already know because you're on, you listen to all that. But
One thing I just want to say really quick on what Tina just said, you can also add a cherry on top. There is one other secret benefit to the Elite Bundle, and you can include this in your audio as well, and that is that you're getting 500 in volume. I would let them know that. Like, ask them a question. Do you want to accelerate your rank? Do you want to be able to get promoted faster? What are they all going to say? Well, yeah, of course. Great. Well, with the Elite Bundle, you're getting 500 in volume. You only have to get to 1,300 to hit Jade. So it's getting you there much faster. So make sure to put that in there too.
I would say that also works really, really, really well when you're letting your person know that when they bring their spouse in as a spousal account, because it's not only are you getting the product for your own household, but that 500 that's going under your spouse is also going to you. So you double dip that same 500.
yep, good one.